Hi friends. Now with record number of applications for CAT examination this year, standing at somewhere around 3.3 lakhs, the number of applicants have increased and so does the competition. And to increase the competition to another higher level, I can say that engineers play a very big role. So friends, every year we find that the number of students who are appearing for CAT examination, who are registering for this examination has been increasing. Now this year, it has first time in the history crossed 3 lakhs, the barrier of 3 lakhs. Now, what do we mean? What do we understand by this particular thing? Is it the sign of recession? Is it the sign that people want to go for higher education? People are more aware about MBA. There is a huge demand of the students who have pursued MBA in the industry. Now, whatever the reason is, now for us who are preparing for CAT 2024, it is important to understand that the competition has increased. Number of students has increased is directly proportional to the competition. And like I told you that engineers play a very big role in that. Now, every year, majority of the students, majority of CAT takers are engineers. And these engineers, they have a huge competition in front of them with their peer group, as well as the people who are non-engineers. Now, you all must be knowing that as far as the weightage, as far as the preference given is concerned, engineers are given, or I can say that engineers are the type of students, are the type of aspirants who carries the least weightage as compared to the other type of students. So the students who are from commerce background, the students who are from humanities background, there are different, like there are different students coming from different backgrounds who appear for CAT every year. But it is the engineers who are given the least weightage among all of them, right? So why is it that? Now, does CAT favors engineers or MBA colleges do not want engineers? No, it is not actually like that. Okay, right? Now, like whatever be the reason why engineers are not given like equal preference, or why do they give higher preference to the students who comes from non-engineering backgrounds? Right now, we'll stay away from that. Okay, we'll not talk about those reasons, but we will talk about, if I am an engineer, what is the right way to crack this examination? What are different misconceptions that I may have in my mind? Probably I have not sufficient amount of information to crack this examination. Probably somebody has misguided me about this examination, that it is very easy for engineers to crack this examination. It is not actually very easy for any person to crack this examination, even if you are engineer, even if you are a non-engineering background student. Okay, so let us enter into this session and talk about some of the myths, some of the misconceptions that we may have in our mind while preparing for CAT examination, and what will be the right way to prepare for CAT in case you are an engineer. Now, before I'll take you to some of the ways to crack CAT, let us understand what CAT examination is. So, at the time of your preparation, at this time you are starting your preparation, you must be well equipped with the pattern of this examination. What are the different components of this examination? What are the different areas from which the questions can be asked? What is the actual level of difficulty that you'll have to prepare for? So if you have all these things and you have a particular target that is set in front of you, then you will be able to sail through this examination very easily. All right. So let us understand what is the pattern of this examination. Now, since I'm conducting this session before CAT 2023, so I cannot be sure about the pattern of CAT 2023. What I am sure about is the pattern of CAT 2022. So the last year, this was the pattern at which the CAT was conducted. Okay. So the entire CAT examination is divided in three, I'll say three sections, or three parts, right? Now, all these three sections will appear in front of you one by one, starting with verbal ability and reading comprehension. So, this is the first section. Last year, there were a total of 24 questions that came in this section. Now, out of these 24 questions, there were 21 questions which were asked in the form of multiple choice questions. So, that means you had options for all these 21 questions, but there were three questions in which options were not given. So, you will have to type in your answer. The next section was data interpretation and logical reasoning. We call it DILR. And there were 20 questions in this section. Now, these 20 questions, 14 questions were MCQs and 6 were non-MCQs, in which you'll have to type in your answer. Now, these 20 questions of DILR section, they were divided in 4 different sets, and each of the sets had 5 questions each. All right. Now, moving on to the third section, it was quantitative ability. Most of you would know it by the name of mathematics. So, yes, it is maths, but a certainly different kind of mathematics. Okay, so you will not find direct questions coming from different areas. So, there will be indirect questions that will check your aptitude. All right. So there were a total of 22 questions, out of which 14 were MCQs and 8 were non-MCQs. Okay, so all in all, there were 66 questions in the entire paper of CAT. Okay, and out of these 66, 49 were MCQs and the remaining were non-MCQs. Okay, now talking about the time limit for this examination. So I can say that yes, a total of 120 minutes was given to finish the entire paper, but these 120 minutes were again divided in three parts. 40 minutes were given for each section. So yes, there are sectional time limits as well. So first, second, and third section, they have separate time limits of 40 minutes each. So that means once you have started your first section, after 40 minutes, it will be automatically submit. Okay, and then the second section will start. And all these three sections will come in the same sequence in which they are written on your screen. All right. Now, talking about the marking scheme, every correct answer will fetch you 3 marks. Every incorrect answer will fetch you -1. There is no negative marking for non-MCQ questions. And if you don't attempt any question, you will not get anything. You will not lose anything. So that means 0 marks for all unattempted questions. All right. So this was the entire pattern of CAT. Now, if you want to understand each and every section, then you will have to get into the depth of whatever areas from which the questions are asked. So let us briefly talk about the different areas from which the questions will appear in front of you in each of these sections. It is very important to know, otherwise we'll not be able to prepare ourselves for this examination. Now, section 1, reading comprehension and verbal ability. Definitely, it will be composed of reading comprehension, which is the backbone, which I'll say is the backbone of this section. So, out of, I can say that 24 questions that appeared in the last year BARC section, 16 to 17 questions were only from reading comprehension. Yes. So, that is why I told you that reading comprehension is the backbone of this section. Now, the other areas from which the questions were seen were para jumbles, para summary, and para completion. So, all these type of questions, including reading comprehension, definitely will involve intensive reading abilities. Okay, so you will have to have some wonderful reading skills, and your interpretation skills should also be good in order to do good in this particular section. All right. Now, the second section was logical reasoning and data interpretation. Now, different areas of logical reasoning were tested. Now, if you look at the previous year papers of CAT examination, then the topic started from linear and circular arrangements, matrix arrangement, sequences, games and tournaments, Venn diagrams, roots and networks. All these areas were tested in logical reasoning. Also, from data interpretation, you will be given data in any form. You will have to interpret that data and then answer the question that will follow. So, data interpretation is slightly calculation intensive. All right. Now the data can be given to you in any form, including tables, bar graph, pie charts, line graphs, histograms, spider charts. So the data can be given to you in any form. Okay. So in the previous year paper of CAT examination, we have seen at least one set of data interpretation coming every year in every slot. Now moving on to the third section, quantitative aptitude. Now, this is mathematics. Now, out of five different areas of mathematics, namely arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths, and number systems. So, from all these five areas, we have seen questions appearing in CAT examination. So, you'll have to be very good in all these areas in case you are dreaming high. All right. So now this is about a little bit about the pattern of CAT examination and what all is asked. All right. Now let us understand about different myths that are prevailing among most of the students. Okay, when they start preparing for an MBA. Now, if I'm an engineer, like obviously I'm an engineer, so I'm telling you, I'm sharing you my story. So I am also an engineer. So basically, uh, but when I'm using this term, a person being an engineer, that means I'm referring to all those people who are from engineering background. Okay, so their education background is engineering. So either they have done BE or BTech. Okay, now, every time I used to face this question when I was preparing for my CAT examination or when I started teaching way back in 2007. So I started teaching in 2007 and every student used to come and ask me like whether the student was an engineer or a non-engineer. They used to ask me, sir, should engineer pursue an MBA? So initially they used to ask me, is in an engineer, like if a person is doing BE or BTech, does he qualify for MBA or not? Or if you qualify for MBA, so why engineers are doing MBA? This is a business management program. This is meant for commerce graduates. So why the hell engineers are pursuing MBA? So friends, this is the biggest myth among all of us. Okay. Now, business management, business. So, what is MBA? This is all about management. This is all about business. Okay. So, in a business, every type of person is required, be it from a commerce background, be it from a humanities background, or be it from any background. So every person has a different role. So there are technical as well as non-technical roles that are offered for to a person who has pursued an MBA. Okay, so once you will get into this, you will understand the different streams, the different specializations that are there in MBA. Also, if I talk about finance specialization, so it is not necessary that a person who has a commerce background, who has a prior knowledge of finance, can only pursue MBA in finance. Now, any person who is from non-finance, non-commerce background, but has an interest in financial activities can also pursue an MBA in finance. And same is the thing about other specializations. So, if you have a question in your mind, should an engineer pursue an MBA? Why not? My question is, if you are interested, if you have that business acumen in your mind, then you must pursue an MBA program. All right. There are different specializations like operations, telecommunication management, and so on and so forth that are specially meant for an engineer. Okay, but it is absolutely fine if you want to go for an MBA in finance or marketing or human resource management. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so yes, as an engineer, you can pursue an MBA. All right. Now the next question that I face, so from again from commerce and from engineering and non-engineering background students is, does CAT favors engineers? I would say that yes, the CAT examination, the written examination is slightly in the favor of engineers, but not the complete selection procedure. I'll give you details about that. So if I talk about the third section of CAT examination, quantitative aptitude, I can say that this is complete mathematics. And engineers, since engineers are expected to be good in mathematics, so yes, this section offers some advantage to engineers. I'm not saying that it will not offers any advantage to the people who are non-engineers, or I'm not saying that it will offers advantage to all the engineers. I have seen plenty of engineers in my life who are poor in mathematics. I've also seen people from non-engineering background, humanities or commerce backgrounds, who were good in mathematics. All right. So, when I'm making this statement, this is just a general statement and is not applicable to every person. So yes, I can say that people who go for engineering, they are expected to be good in mathematics. They are expected to be good in quantitative aptitude. They are expected to be good with their calculations. So yes, if I talk about the third section, yes, it favors engineers. Also, if I talk about the second section, which is logical reasoning and data interpretation. So, what is data interpretation? Data interpretation is a game of numbers. Okay. So, in the questions of data interpretation, you will find a lot of numbers that you'll have to deal with. So, once again, if I am good with numbers, if I'm good with calculations, so yes, I can do good in data interpretation also. But the other component of second section, that is logical reasoning. Logical reasoning has nothing to do with an engineering background student or a non-engineering background student. So if your logical skills are polished, okay, so you have an acumen, you have a tendency of solving puzzles on daily basis, okay, your reasoning aptitude is good, then you can do good in logical reasoning. So logical reasoning is one section that will favor everyone whose IQ level is good. When we come to the first section is full of English. Okay, so we have reading comprehension, we have para jumbles, para summary, and para completions. So your verbal skills should be polished if you want to do good in the first section. Generally speaking, engineers are not considered to be good in verbal, in English. Okay, so I can say that one section, that is section number 3, completely favors engineers. Section number 1 will not favor engineer. Section number 2, yes, slightly in the favor of engineers. So I can say that majority of questions are there which will favor engineers. But does the entire process of selection criteria favors engineers? No, not at all. If I talk about the second stage of selection procedure, that is group discussion and personal interview, then here everybody is treated at a similar level. Okay, so now if I talk about engineers, now engineers, generally speaking, once again, are not considered to be good with their communication skills, are not considered to be good with their general knowledge, are not to be considered good with the understanding of finance or business, because they have never studied these subjects in the graduation, right? If I talk about GK, nobody likes to study GK, but if I talk about students who have reading habits, they generally get into reading newspapers and hence their verbal skills are polished. This is difficult to say for an engineer. All right. So I can say that engineer lacks in some of the skills, okay, which a non-engineer might be good at. These are communication skills, vocabulary, grammar, and so on and so forth. Everything that is related to verbal ability or English. All right. So, what should be a strategy that an engineer should take in order to be in order to achieve good results when it comes to CAT examination, when it comes to an examination in which there are some other things which are tested in which engineer is not good at. Okay, so let's deal with these problems one by one. So first of all, you must understand your strengths. So again, I'm talking in general. Engineers, when if I talk about an engineer, generally engineers are considered to be good in mathematics. So what can be the expected strengths of an engineer vis-a-vis CAT examination? Now, the first thing is the entire section of quantitative aptitude, the third section. So, you are expected to be good in mathematics, understand your strength, and make sure that this will remain your strength. The second area can be data interpretation, and up to a certain extent, it can be logical reasoning that I have explained you already earlier in this session. Okay, so these can be the expected strengths of an engineer. Now, if you know your strengths, make sure that these strengths remain your strengths. So, what I've seen generally is a person who is good at mathematics, what they do is they tend to ignore mathematics and they tend to get overconfident in mathematics, and they stop studying mathematics thinking that we can do wonders in the actual examination without even studying a word of mathematics. This is actually not true. Now, to do good in CAT examination in this section, you don't need knowledge but practice as well. So knowledge will not help you in increasing your speed, okay, in familiarizing with the pattern of CAT, in understanding the level of difficulty or the type of questions which are asked in CAT examination. So if you have knowledge, that is good, but you will be able to apply, you will be able to show your knowledge once you have done good amount of practice for each of these areas that are there in mathematics or data interpretation or logical reasoning. So make sure that your strength will remain your strength. So that means you will have to spend minimum amount of time that is required for practicing enough number of questions in the areas which are your strength. All right. So this is one very important thing that you will have to do. Next thing is determine or find out your weakness. So weakness for majority of engineers are reading habits, poor grammar, limited vocabulary or no vocabulary, and they lack in communication skills. Okay, now communication skills can be verbal or non-verbal. So you are speaking your body language. So engineers, they have very stiff body language. I'm again talking in general. Okay, so these are some of the weaknesses that I can quote about engineers. I was also weak in all these things. I'm not saying that I'm strong, I'm very strong. No, but I am average. It has happened only because of practice. Okay, so first of all, we'll have to start working on all these weaknesses. Now, to start with, since you are preparing for CAT 2024, you have time. Yes, we can say that, but you don't have a lot of time. You don't have time that can be wasted. Okay, so if you have determined, if you have decided that you will be taking CAT examination in the year 2024 or in 2025, whatever year you want to take CAT examination in, you need to start working on your reading skills. Now, the best way to start working on reading skills is start reading a newspaper. Now, newspaper will help you in different ways. Number one, it will help you with your reading habits. It will help you in increasing your reading speed. Secondly, it will help you in your in building up your interpretation skills. Right? So once you are reading a newspaper, once you are in touch regularly with a particular news, then you will be able to follow up that news, you will be able to start understanding that news. All right. And your interpretation skills will start improving gradually. Okay. Now, the third way newspapers can help you is it will help you in improving your grammar as well as vocabulary. Every day you will encounter some new words in the newspaper, in any of the articles that you are reading. Make sure that you are noting down those words and looking for their meanings in a dictionary, or like Google it, just easy way. So difficult words you encounter, search for their meaning on the Google, note down these words with their meanings, and just frame one sentence that you can remember, that you can easily remember. Now, this is one way you can keep building up your vocabulary parallel to reading newspaper. Also, after a week or 10 days, keep revising those words that you have noted down in the last 10 days or maybe 15 days. Okay. Now, another way newspapers will help you is It has happened a lot of times that like only my students have told me, and I have experienced it myself also. We have got an exact reading comprehension from some of the articles of the newspapers. Okay, so if you will increase your reading habits, if you'll read more and more content, different newspapers, different magazines, different articles online, then it might be possible that the article that you have read, you will find the same article in your examination. If not, you may find the article from a similar area, similar genre to come in your reading comprehension. Now, if you are already familiar with certain text, then it will be easy for you to understand that text, right? This is one way, or these are different ways in which newspaper reading can help you. All right. Now, another thing is anyone who lacks communication skills, now they should start speaking, they should start conversing in English language. So you have your friends, your family members, your teachers, whosoever is there in your life, start talking to them in English language. That will help you in getting fluent with English language. Okay, so a little bit of fluency should also be there. Also, you'll be good in your non-verbal skills. Like verbal skills you are speaking. Now, if you speak regularly in this language, then slowly and gradually you'll start feeling confident and your body language will improve. All right. Another thing that newspapers will help you is building up your journal awareness, journal knowledge. Right. Now, what is being tested in group discussions and personal interviews? I'm not saying that directly GK, but yes, GK is the biggest component. I'll not call it general knowledge, but I'll call it general awareness. So, awareness about what is happening in the business world around you is certainly required to clear out those group discussions, personal interviews, or written ability tests that you will face as the second round of selection procedure. All right. So, to overcome all these weaknesses, you need to start taking steps, and the time is right now. You cannot delay this process. You cannot improve your your reading skills. You cannot improve your vocabulary. You cannot improve your journal awareness in a matter of 3 or 4 months. It requires time. It's a skill, not a knowledge. So it will require time. Okay, so you must start building up your like or working on your weaknesses from day one onwards if you are a serious engineer student. Okay, so seriously prepare कर रहे हो, so आज से ही start करना पड़ेगा. All right, so these are certain ways in which an engineer can crack an MBA examination. All right, so friends, that is all from my side for this session. Now I'll be coming again and again for all the students who are preparing for CAT 2024 with many such sessions in which I'll be telling you about the strategy of preparation, as well as I'll be conducting, or we will be conducting, as BYJU'S exam prep, we'll be conducting different sessions in which we'll be sharing some content with you as well. All right. So in the upcoming days, we'll be conducting a lot of strategy sessions as well as the content sessions that will help you in preparing for CAT 2024 examination. So friends, that is all from my side for the day. Some important information that I must share with all of you. Now, this is the list of CAT 2022 toppers from BYJU'S exam prep. You can talk to our counselors. So if you want to be my student, or if you want to be a student at BYJU'S exam prep and want to prepare for your CAT examination or maybe other management entrance examinations, so you can talk to our counselor on our application homepage. The name of the application is BYJU'S exam prep. Download this application from Google Store and log into the application, go to the homepage and click the button talk to the counselor, and you'll be able to reach the counselor. All right. Now, friends, for CAT 2024 aspirants, we have started a new series of sessions, new series of free sessions that will be conducted live on our application. So it will start on 25th of September, that is today, up till 5th of October on daily basis at 3 p.m. Okay, so this is a series of 10 PAPAT sessions for all the aspirants of CAT 2024. All right. So what you have to do is you just have to download our application, BYJU'S Exam Prep, and start watching these sessions. All right. Now, also the students who are preparing for NMAT 2023, we are starting with a crash course 26 September onwards at 7 p.m. All right. So there will be PAPAG live sessions, highly probable questions, and section-wise score booster will also be there. So you can join us and watch these sessions in the live format. Also for CAT 2023 aspirants, the free All India Open Mock CAT 2023 will be live starting from 29th of September up till 8th of October. So make sure that you register for this examination. It is free for every student. So even if you are not a student at BYJU'S Exam Prep, you can appear for this test by registering it. How to register? Visit our application and you will get to understand by yourself. Anyone who is not a student of BYJU'S Exam Prep and want to join a wonderful test series for CAT and non-CAT preparation. So this is a test series that is curated by IIM Alumni. You can join this test series and start your preparation for CAT examination or continue your revision for CAT examination with us. So friends, that's all from my side. You can follow us on all these social media platforms. Have a wonderful time preparing for CAT examination. Thank you very much for being a part. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.